All right, welcome everybody.
You want to know why running on the treadmill 7 days a week doesn't work for you when you're trying to lose weight? Because it never has. I know that's
All right, today we're going to be inking this. We did the finished pencils yesterday. Now we're doing some inking. And of course YouTube wants to run a commercial right when I'm doing this.
Eat low-calorie food or run for an hour a day. It seems like you get softer, but you don't actually lose weight. And this is one of the biggest reasons why.
There we go. I think. Okay. All right, now we're on. What's up, guys? I'll get ready to go here. Got my drinks. So I'm off today. All right, let's get started. Now this isn't the original drawing. I put it in blue line and then printed it out on another piece of paper so I don't ruin the original. What's the message? It's my wife. Okay. Right. So let's get started. You're hoping for Ranger panties? I'll do that for tomorrow. I'll wear the Ranger panties tomorrow. What's up, Ray?
Cardio burns fat, right? No. Cardio actually burns calories, usually in the form of carbs in the bloodstream that are then replaced with the very next meal that you eat and store it as more fat. This is why when you even eat low-calorie food or run for an hour a day, it seems like you get softer, but you don't actually lose weight. There is a simple way to completely transform your physique, like, say, Hugh Jackman did, or the Wolverine movie. Hugh isn't the only one to get shredded seemingly overnight. Chris Pratt went from the chubby, lovable Andy on Parks and Rec to the cover of Men's Fitness, sporting a killer set of abs. Christian Bale starved himself to skin and bone for just weeks before rapidly bulking up and building himself into Batman. So, how did these guys do it? It's gotta be steroids or designer foods that the rest of us don't have access to, right? Actually, no. The truth is that Hollywood's elite actors can get ripped while adding 12, 15, even 20 pounds of muscle in just a few weeks because they follow a long forgotten and suppressed by the fitness industry's secret that was used for generations of bodybuilders and athletes before steroids were even invented. So according to studies, there's one food that can raise your overall testosterone level by 52% and overall sexual health by 78%. Can you guess what it is? I'm gonna say probably not, because until a couple weeks.
Anyway. It's like super hot in here. I'm gonna turn on my fan real quick. There we go. Perfect for Slinging ink. You gotta be comfy too. Now with the hair, I'm gonna use the brush for that because I get a little bit more organic strokes on there. Thanks, Fernando. Appreciate it, man.
promise made in the dark, lit by a single flame. A desperate prayer for guidance.
Yo! Yeah, I was definitely going to ink it. I was going to hire it out. How do I choose where to begin inking? I treat it the same way as like when I'm doing pencils. Anything that can smudge. I like to work from the bottom left, or because I'm right-handed, and just kind of work my way up. That's how I do it. I'm sure there's people that do it different ways. This is what works for me, so I'm not smearing ink or graphite all over the page when I'm doing these renders. Try and make it look as clean as possible without having to go in there and do a bunch of erasing, because there's like smudges. So that's how I do it. So I'll start with Corvid here, and then I'll work on Black Shroud, and then move up to Phantom Hawk. All this heavy black stuff, I'll outline it because I'm going to go in there and do it with a brush, so I can, because it's a lot of black area, and me with just a regular micron pen would take forever just to scribble it all in. Kind of like what I'm doing right now. I'm just outlining the blacks. How I'm going to do this. How do you get the blue image on the page rather than working directly on the original pencils? Very good question. I bought a large format scanner / printer. What I do is I scan the original pencil drawing in, bring it into Photoshop, use the magic wand tool to select the pencil renderings, that color, that gray, that graphite color. And then after I make the selection, I put it on a fresh new layer and use the closest to non-copy blue I can find in their color palette, and just hit fill. And then get rid of the original image on a white background. And then also, since it's a large format printer as well, I put in the 11x17 Bristol through the feeder. It prints out, and then I can work on this without destroying the original image, because for the longest time I would just ink right over the original pencils. But luckily I've gotten away from that. So now I can keep a lot of my original pencil art. Watching me ink it probably isn't as entertaining as watching me actually pencil stuff, but I like doing these videos. I try to be as instructional as I can be. I can save an up-and-coming future artist a little bit of a headache, so they don't have to figure it out on their own. I'm more than happy to do that. And the printer, it's like a, what is it? Brother Business Smart Pro Series LC 37. No, that's not it. Yeah, 3017, I guess. I don't know. But it does 11 by 17, and that's the main reason why I bought it, is because it does do that 11 by 17. Hey Yosh, how's it going? Galvan, what up, homie? Freaking 52 degrees here. Like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, it's pretty chilly for Texas. It's like 68 degrees here. But it's been dropping down into the mid 40s at night. .31 degrees out there in Illinois. That's pretty cold. See, and I've already kind of smudged a little bit there by rubbing my hand over it. And that's what I try to avoid, but I try to avoid it. It doesn't always work out. 21 overnight. That's not bad. That's good sleeping weather right there. Probably gonna take me a couple of hours to actually work on this, so I'll do an hour, and I'll take a break, and then I might do something later on tonight, definitely tomorrow morning. Make this your best piece ever. I try to, man. I try. Some pieces inspire you to do better than others. Always try and outdo the last one.
Cardio burns fat, right? No. Cardio actually burns calories.
wouldn't be a Nick Garber art show without me dropping a pen on the floor. Tell you one about Corvid and Hang Trader. Corvid, she came about before I even joined the Border Patrol. I was working with this guy named Quinn. I can't remember his last name. We were spitballing ideas, and he's like, "Hey, man, we need someone that's like a female match for Phantom Hawk, because that's who all I was focusing on at the time was Phantom Hawk." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah." So I sketched up some ideas, and I really liked the look. I didn't have a story for anything yet, or even a backstory. I had nothing. So once I had the look of her down, I kind of wanted, subconsciously, apparently, I go with a bird theme. So I had this helmet, and then her original iterations, like she had like this tattered cape, and you know, she was kind of like everything just looked worn and beaten. And then I moved to Texas, and I started spitballing it with Renee Garza, the writer on Bengali, and start coming up with a backstory a little bit. I came up with the name Corvid. You know, I didn't want to go like too, I don't know, on the nose about her name. You know, like a Corvid is a blackbird, a raven. It's that family of birds. So came up with that name, and then I was like, man, what if she was like part of a secret society or something like that? You know, and of course you don't want to get cliche and be like, oh, it's a bunch of assassins or anything like that. I was like, well, what else could we have? So we just start kind of asking a bunch of questions and answering them. Like, okay, what's the purpose? What's the drive? So we came up with the aviary. And I was like, well, what if they're like watchers? Like it's a secret society that's been around since, man started like making languages and shit. And their whole job is to, watch and observe, collect history, protect history, things like that. Make it a little bit more intellectual, than a bunch of people that are just, trained from birth to be killers. Now these members of the aviary, they are trained in combat because one of their functions is to protect and preserve man's true history. So everything from the atom bomb to the wheel. So that's how Corvid came to be. And then I've been trying to get her own series. It just hasn't been working yet. The story's solid. So I think I was explaining this yesterday. I was asking for too much money from the Kickstarter, and I didn't have quite that following yet. And it was going to be a graphic novel, and I thought maybe graphic novels were coming back in, but they're not. People are still wanting single issues, and that's fine. The story was easy enough to break down into 3 issues. So, but right now, I get sidetracked so easy doing this. That's where Kate goes. She has a partner named Sparrow. Oh, back to Corvid. Okay, so like I start filling her backstory up, like how she got into the aviary. I wanted her to be Hispanic. I wanted her to come from Mexico because where I was living is heavily inspired. Well, I mean, it's right on the border, so it's got a lot of Mexican influences. I mean, the majority of the population is Hispanic, and so I started kind of digging into that. And I had so many friends there in the art community that were more than willing to share their culture with me, so I could make the character as believable and accurate as possible. So she is from the Sinaloa Mountains. She was in a portable village at the base of the mountain, and this mysterious sickness came in and killed pretty much everybody in her village. And when the aviary came down to investigate, they found little Gabby here, completely unaffected by the illness. And since she had no family, she was orphaned. The aviary took her in and trained her to be one of them, and gave her the name Corvid, Blackbird. And that's what we were gonna dive into that story is what they called her in the aviary. They're highly educated. All the members are, all their operatives are, so they can blend in, move about, within the intellectual community and high society and all that. And then she goes on a mission, and the leader of the aviary, his son went with her. It was his first mission, and a villain that you see in the pages of Phantom Hawk killed him. And Corvid here got blamed for it, So then she was ousted out of the aviary. So the story kind of starts off with her, seeking revenge on discovering who murdered the boy. With maybe a chance to get back inside the aviary. She brought the killer to justice. So, without getting into further details and spoiler territory, I'm just going to leave it at that. But she's a really cool character. I think a lot of years of development have gone into her, to flesh her out and make her as authentic and relatable as possible, even though she's, a superhero. Good suggestion, Ray. It's not looking too bad. It's getting there. I'm full of them. And humble, too. I'm going to watch Wedding Crashers tonight. Just so I can see that scene with Vince Vaughn talking about motorboat and try getting jacked off under the table in front of the whole damn family. Have some real problems. Jackass. Full of shit, mostly. Aren't we all, brother? Aren't we all? But the coolest thing that I thought when I was designing Corvid here was her tactical corset. You know, you see a lot of female heroes and villains, they all have like corsets on and shit, and they like serve zero function, and you can't imagine how they can move around and fight crime in those things, you know, because they're very restrictive. And so I was like, okay, well, let's make it kind of tactical. Hey, Ellison. You know, instead of it being like have bones or, you know, the bone, the thing that, you know, keeps it rigid, maybe it's like a flexible carbon fiber weave, you know, and then it adds some kind of protection from like, you know, maybe ricochets and shit like that. You know, I really got into it. And then attaching her, all the tools to this corset, so it's kind of like the center for her, for everything she needs while she's out on missions. Getting into this, to the crazy Jim Lee style cross hatching here. Yeah, that's alright. We'll roll with it. And if I screw up, I can just print out another one. Who is this character? The character I'm working on right now is Corvid. We're going to be, Ray and I are going to do a one-shot of a crossover between her and Phantom Hawk. Should be pretty good. Phantom Hawk is currently being written by Ray Merrick III, and he's been doing a pretty good job. We're both fans of Batman and DC. I'm more of a Marvel guy, but over the years, the last 15 years, I've really grown fond of the DC characters. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell I was trying to do there, but alright, well, when in doubt, crosshatch. That's the fun thing about inking is you don't necessarily have to stick with the original line art. You can embellish a little bit. And so you can do things like that. I don't think that's what I drew originally, but we're gonna roll with it. Okay, so we got that going on here. And the toughest thing for me anyway, creating female heroes, putting their costumes together is you want them to maintain their femininity, but I don't want to over-sexualize them either, because it doesn't make sense that you're running around, with half your boobs hanging out and shit all the time, but a sleek suit like hers, that's form-fitting, especially if you're doing acrobatics and stuff like that, almost like a gymnast. Those things, they make sense. Thanks, man. I'm starting to. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, man, she's looking really good. And if I start thinking that, I might like subconsciously screw it up. Trying to like, be like, oh, okay, it's coming okay. It's looking all right, you know. Instead of like, oh my god, I'm actually shocked I'm doing this. This is turning out really freaking cool, you know. I try not to sabotage myself with that shit. But I guess you should, you know. It's like if it's looking really cool and you're really impressed with your own work, I mean, yeah, you should. Not a whole lot of people do that. Usually they tear themselves down like, oh, this is shit. I don't even know what I'm doing here. Why are people watching me fail? But no, this is looking really good. I'm really enjoying how this is coming out. I'd say probably the best drawing of her I've done. You know? I really want to work on her hair, but I kind of want to save the brush work for when I'm ready to fill in all these heavy blacks. Are we going to do interiors? Hell yeah! I'm gonna do the interiors. I love doing sequential work. I mean, pinups and covers are cool, but I like the challenge of doing sequential work, of telling the story. You know, through the visual medium, sound all artsy fartsy about it. No, there was some black I was going to fill in there. Let's do that right now. And boom. It is, our part is done. Got that all good. I'm also trying not to over-render the damn thing, because that gets annoying.
Free to your door. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Over render. It's just an art by putting in too much detail where you start losing what the object looks like. So there's an old saying that art is never finished; it's only abandoned at a specific point. So when you over render something, you'll notice people, or you'll see some, I don't know, I wouldn't say less talented, but less experienced artists, when they start doing things like cross hatching, they'll do too much. And you want to leave a lot of this white space here. And the reason why cross-hatching was even a thing is because back in the early day of comics, they didn't have Photoshop. They didn't color that way. It was all colored by hand. So you would throw these cross-hatches in there to trick the eye into creating a different tone in the color than which really are, because it was basically flats. And then as the coloring process evolved throughout the years, you were able to put in like tints and shades and tones and things like that, and highlights and knockouts and all this other jargon that we use making comic books. But when you over render something, it gets to that point where you've illustrated so much and you've added so much detail and these little nuances like cross hatching, where you can't make out what the figure is. I hope that makes sense. It's just really adding too much detail and it just doesn't look right. You'll notice Jim's very strategic in where he places his cross hatching and his heavy black lines and things like that, where the figures do not get merged into each other. You can tell that this is Catwoman, you can tell this is the Joker, where she ends and he begins and then Batman begins, like the movie. So that's what I mean by over render. Good question. 10 points for Gryffindor. Yeah, I've seen a bunch of over rendering. Yeah, you see it quite a bit in the indie scene. You even see it now. Well, you used to see it from the big two also, but now it's kind of gone the other way. Now it's like almost it's under rendered. It's like they got to a point and they're like, yeah, that looks like a human. We'll just go with that. Excuse me. My lord. Looking forward to December 4th. Oh yeah, December 4th. I can't wait. Clock's ticking. Tick tock, tick tock. Okay, so I was supposed to work on this book called 2100 Samurai, and I did a lot of work for what I was going to be paid. Well, the creator, I won't name his name, but I really kind of like the way he was treating me. So, action, adventure, background music, royalty free on YouTube. I try to use royalty free stuff so Facebook doesn't shut me down while I'm doing these things. But back to that book. The book ended up not funding. I had a lot of differences with the creator. One of them, he put a lot of, I don't know, I guess hope, not hope. It's not that. He overestimated how quick that book was gonna fund. You know, he was expecting like $10,000 in like the first couple of days. He was like, oh yeah. Day 2 was freaking out because we only brought like $100 and some odd, which is pretty good. You know, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And I was telling him to chill out. And he goes on this long, he sends me this message going how he's pulling all the weight right now, and no one from my friends list is, you know, donated to the book or anything like that. I'm like, whatever, dude. I'm like, listen, if you don't like this partnership, you can find somebody else. Well, he ends up, you know, calming down. He's like, I'm sorry, I was out of line. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Just don't do that again. You know. So I have a friend that that's always supported my artwork and my comic books. You know, he's a fan and a friend and someone that I've known for a very long time. Well, he goes and I guess he had some cash to burn, so he drops like $1,500 on it, on the campaign. Boom! It's funded. Now we just got to worry about stretch goals and stuff. Well, time goes on, and he's like, I want this book done by December 4th, and blah, blah, blah. And he originally wanted it done September 25th before he even launched the Indiegogo campaign, which I thought was, you know, I don't really do that, especially since I was doing it for a percentage on the back end, which is something I usually don't do, and I'm going to go back to not doing that, because that is just not a good deal for me. So my buddy ends up, I tell him about it, he's like, don't worry, I got you, buddy. And he pulls his pledge. Book doesn't fund, releases me from contract, because I'm not going to work for free. And then, but the creator was still like, I don't care if it didn't fund, you signed a contract, it's a legally binding contract. And I'm like, yeah, well, I had my lawyer look at it, you know, and here's the loophole here, buddy. You know, you can't contract someone to work for no type of, you know, restitution. So that's it. That's where the December 4th joke is coming from, for anybody who was wondering. So that's my next piece of advice. Is don't take back-end pay, and definitely don't do a percentage. You know what you're worth. Ask for what you're worth. If they can't agree to that, that's fine. There's plenty of work out there. Trust me. Plenty of work out there. If you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits. Now your buddy can drop some green on Cardinal or this project, which he will. Hopefully. Something more worthy. I agree. Cardinal book's good. Bam Hawk's good. I mean, I think so because, you know, I'm directly involved, but the feedback that we've gotten from our comic books is that they're good, they're solid. You know, people enjoy our stories. They enjoy the artwork. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So who writes those though? Ray's being modest. He doesn't want to shamelessly plug himself, which he should. So, indie writer, horror meister, entrepreneur, friend of mine, motorboat and son of a gun, Ray Merrick III writes what used to be the Crimson Guardians, now it's called the Crimson Order. Stars the Cardinal and a lot of other cool characters that will be coming out. I think issue 3 is when we start introducing some of the other ones. Some of the other members of the Order. Issue 2 is going to be really cool. Unless there's any changes to it. Issue 2 starts off with this giant cathedral that I get to draw. Big old battle inside there with, Cardinal fighting off demons, and then Reckoning's going to come in and do his thing. So that's who writes both of those. He also writes Phantom Hawk. He's on issue 2 is halfway drawn. I got to get with Dino and crack the whip on him a little bit. And then we decided that we're going to do this one shot of Phantom Hawk and Corvid. A little crossover there. Do like a backdoor pilot, so to speak. Hey Darren, what's going on, bud? So that's what we have planned. That's who's writing it. I'm the penciler, the illustrator on both those, well, all three. Well, no, I'm not on Phantom Hawk, not yet. I will be going back to drawing Phantom Hawk here after, probably going into issue 3. And I got to get to work on the Crimson Order issue 2, and then I'll be drawing this while running Apogee and reading scripts and improving scripts for the next couple of books that are coming out. Thanks, Darren. Appreciate it, man. This thing with inking too is like I do belong on Phantom Hawk. That's true. But we were so busy doing everything else when Apogee first started. Because I was focusing on the Cardinal and getting that done, and then doing War Drums, which was a fun book. I think we got it back from the printer like 3 years ago yesterday. I think that's what Facebook Memories told me. And it was a fun little experiment to see someone else render a character I've been, 30 years. 30 years ago I created that character in detention, of all places. Nothing else to do, so I made a superhero. And he went through a lot of changes. Like, I showed Ray some of the early sketches of him. Yeah, I think there's three pages I gotta redraw. And I think we'll just pull a Kirby and Lee on it. You just throw in some dialogue and I'll draw it. In detention, I know, it's hard to believe, right? Such a model of civility. You dick. Yeah, me in detention. Oddly enough, for drawing in class. Weird, right? Wasn't paying attention to what was being said. I was just over there doodling. But like the third or fourth time, the teacher just had enough, sent me to detention. So I guess technically Phantom Hawk was being created in class and then finished up in detention and then reworked, re-rendered, developed throughout the next 20 years of my life. Because his first book came out in 2011. So that was fun. Let's see here. Any text messages or something? I got a phone call. I don't care. There we go. Back to this. So. Really need to organize this office, make it a little bit more creative working space. What is it? It's almost 5 o'clock. How long have I been going at this? Over an hour? I'll do another hour, fuck it. I'm feeling good. This is gonna drive me nuts. This thing blowing all over the place. Get to the cape action! Don't tell me how to do my life. Hold on. Ray is patiently awaiting the cape action. He likes capes. He likes capes. Alright. Well, let's get to the cape action then. Okay, so here is... There's two capes going on right here at once. Okay, so this is... Corvid's cape, I believe. So I'm going to render that. This one I'm going to probably go with a 2. Go with a 2. I'm going to go with a 2. I love good cape action, you know that. How's her cheek? Does she have a good cheek? I like a good cheek. Hi baby, get your nails done? Hi, look. Just doing a little lab feed here as I sketch this stuff. Ooh, pretty, pretty. Why's that one white? Is the other one white? Oh, nice. That's cool.
Made them look like a Tiffany's box.
I love it that we have themes for your nails.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah.
She almost didn't want to fix the one that I smashed at work.
Why?
She said it was really short. I was like, no kidding. I smashed it with a case of tile.
Yeah, it kind of happens.
And you took most of the nail. Well, it was really short. You should let it grow. I'm not walking around missing one nail.
Yes.
Fix it.
I pay you money, and then you fix my nail.
Fix it.
Fix that, please.
And you've got to be careful. If it breaks, it could take your whole nail. Won't it be first time?
That's true.
But I'm not walking around for the next 2 weeks with a Band-Aid on my finger.
The jacked up nail. That ain't happening.
Plus, it's like really hard to flip people off.
I'm sure you'll make do, though.
Yeah, but then you have this ugly nail when you're flipping people off. I need it to be pretty when I flip them off.
She is. My wife, ladies and gentlemen, my wife.
Have her put sparkles, you know?
Yeah. Fuck the flooring department.
Ouch. That's kind of where I work. In the flooring department, in the kitchen department.
You work all over, though.
Well, out here, compared to Vegas, in Vegas I was flooring and then I got transferred into kitchen. Out here they call me Universal.
Universal.
I'm a Universal specialist.
That should come with more money.
It really should, shouldn't it?
I think so.
I didn't.
If you're having to do like multiple departments because you're a specialist of all
Yeah.
those.
Like Rose is only kitchens. Diana is only appliances. And Will is only flooring. I mean, he can kind of do millworks, but he's only flooring. Me, I'm
Net is the best.
That is the best. You know, if I could roll myself out of bed at 3 a.m. to be on Met, I would. Because they get to leave at like 1 o'clock. But I can't roll myself out of bed that early to be at the store before it opens.
We didn't even get up till like almost noon today.
Well, you know, that was kind of alcohol induced.
Okay, well. Okay, put it on blast like that? Jeez.
I had a few clauses.
A few claws. Ain't no laws when you're popping claws.
And my bullet and ginger ale.
Oh, yeah. You mixed them. That's dangerous. For 11 years.
Work for the HD?
Yeah, that's right.
You didn't tell me that.
Yes, I did.
Well, you probably did. I forget names.
When we were courting.
What, for the whole week that we recorded?
Yeah.
We missed the sunset, by the way. Well, we're missing.
Damn it.
Again. Yeah.
Next Tuesday?
Okay.
Well, you won't have to get your nails done, so we gotta remember that it gets dark earlier.
Had you got me out of bed prior to
Yeah,
noon?
I've been for 13 years. He's a 13-year vet of the HD.
Where's Ray? What state?
Illinois. In Collinsville, right?
I used to live in Illinois. Barf. I do not miss Illinois at all. I gotta find a drink. I'll be back.
There's plenty of booze in the house, sweetie.
Well, duh.
Yep, outside of St. Louis. My home away from home. Besides Texas. I got like 3 homes away from homes. I love St. Louis. 29 years. You work for like Metro Transportation, right, Darren? I think. Ruby grapefruit. Oh, we're getting bougie tonight.
I lived in Oakville, in between Belleville and Nashville.
Aren't you from Belleville, Ray? I think he is.
He probably knows exactly where I was. Tiny little podunk town.
I have happy feet when it comes to jobs. I did like 16 and a half years in the Army, and then I went into the Border Patrol, and now I'm still kind of like, do I really want to do this for the rest of my life? I mean, I like the job, and the pay is great, but like I get bored.
Yeah, if he's from Belleville, then he knows where I lived, in Oakville.
Oakville?
Okawville.
Okawville.
O-K-A-W.
Gotcha.
Ville.
So it's like an avocado?
It's right in between a cornfield
like
and
an avocado?
It's right in between a cornfield and a soybean field.
Gotcha.
You blink, you pass it.
Oh, it's one of those types of towns.
The pizza place is horrible. You have to drive into Mascuda to get Pizza Hut.
Mascuda. What a fun name. That's fun to say.
Mascuda.
Mascuda.
What did I say, right?
My Fitbit is thinking that I'm out walking when I'm just here drawing.
It is because of Oakville. Oakville was horrible.
It's because of Oakville.
Oakville.
Yeah, Ray lives in a pretty cool town.
I mean, it was.
I've been out there to visit him twice. You're my first friend that I've met on the internet that I've ever actually met in person, and then definitely the first out-of-state friend that I've.
That's not true.
Besides
Well,
you.
the first, but not the only.
No, I didn't. Did I say only?
You said only.
Oh, well, I meant first.
And then
then.
first.
I've been out to see Ray a couple of times.
I liked the drive from Oakville into St. Louis, though. And their zoo is awesome.
Well, of course, I can't leave her behind. I cannot leave her unattended.
What happens when you leave me unattended?
You have a little bit too much to drink, and then you do a bunch of TikToks wearing multiple Star Wars helmets.
You're welcome.
Yep,
That's your life.
I know.
The zoo in St. Louis, though, it's freaking huge, and it's free. Like, you remember how much we paid to get into the San Diego Zoo?
Yeah, it was like going to Disneyland in the 90s.
Yeah. St. Louis Zoo, you just...
Is it still free? Ray, you live by there. Ray's like 45 minutes from St. Louis.
And there's this awesome restaurant on the Del Mar Loop called Blueberry Hill, and it's got, like, music memorabilia all through it, including Chuck Berry's guitar.
Nice.
And an awesome pin-up bowling alley.
A pin-up bowling alley.
Yeah.
I dig it.
But the year I got out there, they closed down all the Del Tacos, so that sucked. So it was like 2 years with no chili cheese fries.
We just gotta go to Chula Vista.
Well, in Vegas, I just had to go down the street, but
Yeah.
See? Still free. Ha!
Still free? Nice. Yeah, the St. Louis Zoo is the shit. Still free. 15 minutes, I can see St. Louis from my town.
They have the most
He agrees Blueberry Hill is awesome. He's obviously been there.
Yeah, because they have awesome food and drinks.
Well, we're going to have to make a trip to St. Louis. We'll
I
get some
lived out
Ray
there
and-
when the Cardinals won the World Series. St.
Fitz?
Louis went freaking nuts.
You'd like Fitz. Is Fitz a restaurant?
No, I didn't go. The only time I got to go into St. Louis and like do stuff is when the ex was out of town.
Yeah, you're married to a real winner.
And then I would drive into Belleville.
Nick, yeah, you left that 06 or 11.
11.
What are you talking about?
When the Cardinals won
The World Series.
11. I was actually leaving St. Louis when they won. So I was on the train back to Belleville. Root beer and it's a restaurant.
Root beer. Oh, that sounds great. You know, I love a good root beer. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my Dr. Pepper, but... God.
I was on the train
Or
from...
82? She wasn't even born yet, dude.
Yeah, no, not that early. I was on the train from St. Louis back to Belleville because you took the train into St. Louis from there. And you can see into the baseball stadium from the train.
That's
And
cool.
it was lit. They were
It was lit.
out of control. That's where I had Steak and Shake for the first time.
God, I love
In
Steak.
Belleville. It's right across the street from White Castle.
Serve their own brewed root beer. Oh, God, you're killing me, man. I'm dying for a root beer now.
In frozen mugs.
In frozen ones. That's what I usually have in the fridge.
And we have one in the freezer. Kaden likes the other one.
I know.
Yeah, no, Steak and Shake in Belleville. That's where I had Steak and Shake for the first time. It's right across the street from White Castle.
Hey, Kelly. Kelly Young is watching.
Hey, Mama! Miss your face! I see your store is falling apart without me. Considering in the last 3 days I've heard from Daisy, Diane, Stephanie, and Mike.
If I could send you Fitz. That'd be cool.
You've never had a root beer?
He lives in Ireland.
Oh. I was like, what?
Apparently, root beer and sarsaparilla is a true American invention. So,
Best sarsaparilla we had was in Big Nose Kate's in Tombstone.
oh god, that was so
It
good.
was so flipping good.
Was that
so
their
was-
was that their own?
Yeah, it was in their bottle, remember?
Oh, that's right. It was Big Nose Kate's
Mhm.
root beer. That was cool.
Man, that
I love Sioux. Well, before we went to Big Nose Kate's, my favorite root beer besides A&W, which is really good.
we stopped there on our way.
We
home
stopped.
from
Yeah, we
Texas.
stopped there on the way back from Texas. But Sioux City sarsaparilla, which I guess there's a difference between sarsaparilla and root beer. I don't know what it is. I guess it's like the difference between whiskey and bourbon.
Well, it's a sarsaparilla is a mixture between like a root beer and a cream soda.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's got a little bit more of the vanilla in it.
Well, then
Um,
Dad's root beer is good.
our lemonade though from Big Nose Cake that was good too. Or Arnold Palmer. That was
Did
really
they
good.
put-
It wasn't overly sweet.
Right. It was good. I liked it.
Our ice cream was good on there too.
That was a fun trip.
It was a fun trip. We should do that again.
I like road trips.
We'll have to take a different way home though,
Yeah.
because we never made it up to the Clown Hotel.
Do they sell them there in Ireland, there?
We can ship him some.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could ship them some. I don't know how it would travel, but I mean, chips,
You
give it a
get them in
shot.
the glass bottles, the sealed ones,
Oh, yeah.
and then individually wrap each of them. We could do it.
We could do it.
We could do it.
I can fix it! Oh, Felix, why do you gotta fix everything you touch?
It's just what I do. There's sparkles in this blue. I didn't notice that.
It sparkles all over my drawing table here.
I'm sorry. The Paris drawing definitely took a lot of sparkles.
Oh, yes it did. Yes, it did.
Apologize for the sparkles.
It's okay. I just wiped off with a brush and we're good. But
Sorry, not sorry.
sorry, not sorry. Deal with it.
He said probably we may have a different name for it out there. Maybe. Where's my phone? I'll Google it.
I don't know your phone is, honey.
I'm a queen of Google it.
She's the queen Googler. She's gonna Google it. Is that enough cape action? Turned out really good. I'm digging this. How does it look like this? You see that better? It's turned out pretty good. Turned out pretty good there.
Dogs are mad at me.
Why are they mad at you?
Because I won't let them in here.
Oh, well, they're little assholes sometimes.
That's a freaking baseball bat for a tail.
Jeez. What are her colors? She is purple, brown, and gold.
A little bit of gray happening, or silver.
Let's see here. That's pretty much what she's rocking. It's mostly Raven's colors, but I put some earth tones in there. I'll put her back on her little show off later. But these areas right here are going to be purple, and then this is black coming through
They
here.
have a whole website of
Show them on the bigger can.
Irish people.
I forget I have the bigger
tasting
can.
beer for the first time. There you go.
I don't know why I was thinking. I keep forgetting that this thing is here. But yeah, this is Corvid. These are our colors. Rex did the best he could with the helmet, but so actually, I think I did a sketch card over at a con. I think I went more with the silver for the helmet. So.
Oh, sexy lady.
Oh, sexy lady. Yeah. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna try these brushes now. I'm gonna get some. I know Ray likes hair action as much as Rex Barja. I'll tag him in here. Hold on. Actually, maybe I can do it right now. Rex Barja. There we go. Hold on. And boom. Yeah, I'm really digging the silver, so I might have to have another figure made. But I got to get Regent. I got to get that figure made first for the missus.
No root beer at all.
No root beer at all in
Ireland.
the great country of Ireland.
Nope.
Not a drop.
Nope. We have to melt it.
Okay. Well, we'll see what the process is.
There's gotta be a way.
There's always a way.
And there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. It probably involves a guy named Will. Right.
Yeah. Andrew and Will are kind of Looney Tunes.
Or lowness. Or the looney tones. I think we're gonna go with silver now instead of the gold helmet. I think the gold was a little much as accent colors on her stuff, so I think I'm gonna go with silver. You know, seems a lot better. Okay, here we go. Steady hands, steady hands. Alright.
So in order to ship drinks, they must be secured with a reliable closure, screw tops, soldering or clips, etc. Shipping container or box must be strong enough to protect the contents.
So essentially we have to send a cooler.
Shipping container must be marked with the type of liquid that is inside of it. Shipping carbonated beverages. How to ship soda. I don't care why they explode when they're shaken up.
Hey, Dad. Dad's on. Little back kisses.
Liquids must be cushioned appropriately in case they break and have something to absorb leakage.
So we gotta put towel in there. Got it.
I bet you if we went to Hobby Lobby, we could find like what's the word I'm looking for? Like foam cushion.
Yeah, probably.
We can like cut it out to shape of the bottle, and put each bottle into a little foam cushion before we put it into something hard case, and then into a box.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll figure it out. We'll ship a few different root beers.
ASDA sells it, owned by Walmart. Nice. I highly suggest you go and pick yourself up some.
For what?
You found a place that sells it there in Ireland.
Nice.
It's a company that's owned by Walmart.
Right on.
Oh yeah, live reaction. Like an unboxing or a tasting or whatever.
Yes. That would be awesome.
I'd watch that.
Right?
I'd watch the shit out of that.
Yeah. I have a couple aprons that I should be working on.
Get all your stuff out.
No, not different. I gotta figure out how to finish Kendra's.
What's the problem you're having with hers?
Her name.
Oh. Yeah, let me get some transfer paper.
We have some, I just don't know where it's at.
Yeah, we need to work on the office. I can do that tomorrow. Tomorrow's project. Ash's hair's looking pretty good. Hey, Top, what's going on? Usually when you reply to these things, I've already logged off, but I'm glad you caught me live. Okay.
I know we have it around here somewhere. Because we bought a big old thing of it.
Yeah.
But where the heck did we put it?
That is the big mystery right now, sweetie pie.
So I have Little Mermaid, Mulan, Dia de los Muertos, Meet the Robinsons, and Anastasia. And that's for the people in Vegas that I didn't finish their aprons.
What the
What the hell is she barking at? What's your malfunction?
Holy shit. My lord. My lordy. Ooh, doggy. What's up?
Nothing.
Oh, they're just barking just to bark?
She's barking at that little poodle next door.
Oh, that fucking thing?
At that little red dog
Yeah.
that if left outside for too long starts like. No, it's a poodle, not a fox.
What does the fox say?
Negative Ghost Rider.
No?
There's a whole lot happening in our office right now.
Yep.
We were supposed to work on this today.
I know, but we got a late start, got our nails done. Well, you got your nails done.
I was gonna say, you didn't get your nails done because you didn't go with me.
That's true, I didn't.
We could have totally got you a pedicure though. They were just kind of sitting around. I like Kendra's apron. I almost don't want to give it to her too bad. She's gonna get this one off. Because when I make the one with the turtle, I get to keep that one.
Turtle, turtle. Alrighty.
Aprons, aprons everywhere.
Back to the task at hand.
Jesus.
What's up?
These large aprons are larger than my canvases.
We're rocking it too. Rocking it too.
Rolling in the pretty colors with paint. My little pink ones.
Can't do that.
It's a beautiful sunset today.
What was it?
It's all orange and blue and purdy.
Purdy?
Purdy.
Purdy like you?
I'm not purdy, you crazy.
You purdy.
You're crazy.
That's debatable, but you're still purdy.
Oh, there's no debate about it. You're crazy.
I'm crazy?
Everybody knows this.
Everybody knows this is common knowledge?
Common knowledge.
Wrong. Log on my own self loading. Generate 6. I can't. Dinner with myself at 6. I can't cancel that again. Yes. Solve world hunger. Tell no one. I'm not dinner with myself at 6. I can't cancel that again. How do you cancel dinner with yourself? Oh shit. Hey everybody that's just joined us. Welcome to the goofiness.
This is what it looks like when you put husband and wife in the same office together.
We're like this even when the cameras aren't on.
Can you tell it's pretty?
No, because then I think it's like just fake. It's like, oh, these people aren't really that cool. They ain't really that wacky.
No, we really
Gotta go when I am here. Work looms early. Can't wait to see how this masterpiece turns out. Thanks, Darren. Appreciate it, man. Hopefully I have it done tonight. Maybe I'm gonna take a break here in a little bit. Been going for an hour and a half.
Yeah, it takes me about an hour to get my nails done.
So.
I don't know how I want to go about making them
Oh, you haven't made a Milan one yet, have you?
I think I have an idea. I need a frog tape.
You need front tape? It's right there.
Froggy tape. This big tote needs to go somewhere.
Which one?
This big long one.
Yeah.
It's always in the mullet. I can work around it.
That's good. Hoi! I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, but I might come back on later. I'll let my hand rest up. But
Oh man.
I am an old man. Thanks for everybody for watching. See you on the next one. Bye!
Bye.
Stop. Is it still recording? Yep. Which one says stop?